Well. Good evening, everybody. I apologize. We had a few technical difficulties, but we're here in the building. It's all about woo, Raiders. Come on now, somebody. Mm-hmm. 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 Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are here tonight to talk about what exactly is going down. That's right. That's right. Share it up. Let a friend know. Tell somebody they better ask mama on tonight. I'm in rare form and I'm going to tell you something. There we go. Maybe. There we go. I don't care what it look like. Raider Nation, stand up. Represent. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm right here in lovely North Las Vegas, Nevada. You're the place to be. Even though I'm not on the strip, who needs the strip when I can be at home and enjoy my Raider Nation? Come on in. Let's chime it up. If you want to come in tonight, you know to hit the link to come on in. I'll share that in shortly. But before I do, I just want to say a big shout out. Come on. Shout out to Captain Jack for allowing me, AJ, the Raider, the Bishop, to come on in and host his show one more time. Come on. And if we can't be glad in that because Captain Jack has made it appropriate and given the platform for Raider news to come out right here live. Not the scripted nonsense, but fresh. Fresh. Come on. Come on, somebody. You know, you can get that scripted stuff from ESPN or NFL Live, but it ain't nothing like coming from a Raider Nation channel when you get live interaction and you can talk about what we all have on our minds, right? So we're going to go to that tonight. And again, I want to thank everybody for being patient with me. It's been a minute. I've been trying to get through some of the technical difficulties on tonight, but glory to be to God that I'm here in the building and we're good to go. And let me see here. That's right. That's right. They sure are. That's right. Let's see here. I want to make sure I get the right one. For those of you over on Facebook, if you're watching, click on the link. Come on over to YouTube. Click on the Captain Jack Rackham Levy, and you shall see it. Captain Jack Rackham Levy, and you shall see the link pop up on YouTube. Click that link, copy it, put it in the search engine. When you go to YouTube, you should be able to see it. Tell a friend, share it up, let folks know. And where's everybody at tonight? If you're watching us from somewhere afar, we'd love to hear from you on tonight. That's right, from the 918, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Salute to you, the Silver Driller. Oh, I love that. I love that. Come on. Let them know what it is. Come on. Represent Tulsa, Oklahoma proud and let them know that the Raider Nation is everywhere, right? They might try to stop us. They might try to drown us out, but you can always see the bristling gray mustache. Come on. Come on. Shout out to folks out there, Silver Driller, 918 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I pray that the tornadoes are treating you well on tonight. God bless you and all of your family. GA Patriot in the building. Anthony Provicio. And if I pronounce that wrong, let me know. God bless you, man. I'm glad that you're in the building. You can come on in and we gonna do the thing just right. But again, you might want to ask mama on tonight, right? So we're going to share that, representing the Raider Nation from the 918, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Good to have you on board on tonight. If everybody, let's put that out there. Everybody was hating on Telesco for talking in circles. It's February. That's right. Come on, Black History Month, the last day of the month. May we all be a blessing to those who have made the sacrifice. All of those who were trailblazers for many of indigenous families. And those, as we go back in history and look at them, those who on wounded knee, not just us, but those in wounded knee, we're praying for all of you. You are not forgotten. Black history is not just about the Black race, but it's about the strides that the African American race has gone through. And bless everybody, no matter what race, creed, or color you're from. You are a blessing to this country. So, exactly. And it says, you really expect any NFL GM to give straight answers in February? I agree with you, GA Patriot. It's a shame, that we go, how do I want to put it, so far into the doldrum of things that we want to armchair it. Matter of fact, soon as the Super Bowl is done, come on, talk. Man, I wish somebody just keep it real on tonight. That if you know, like I know, these things take time. Now, given as soon as the 1st of March comes, which is tomorrow, then thank God for that, right? Because here we go. Now we're closer, right? As old Adam Sandler used to say, closer. Now, the news is still the news. And I've looked at tape after tape after tape and highlight after highlight on ESPN. I've seen the clips. I have seen Jaden Daniels. As a matter of fact, they've showed more clips of him than Caleb Williams. And I'm just going to put it out there. I wouldn't mind trading up to get Jaden Daniels because God knows we sure just like to get him. And he looks better than Patrick Mahomes the way he moves. Come on. Am I alone in this? If you like Jaden Daniels, we're just talking. We're just talking. I'd like to see him in the silver and black doing that. Now I know it has to transcend to the next pro level. But he looked ready. He looked ready. He's a little thin, but that grows on a quarterback. They get there. Now, I'm telling you right now, if it took me 2 ones to get him, 2 ones, and maybe a player like Jacoby Myers, yeah. Do that every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Are you with me? Are you with me? Right. They're just giving us the Raider treatment. Let them hate because the nation is fueled by haters. I'm going to tell you something. ESPN ain't no fool. And neither are the people that they got doing the mock drafts. So, yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. The thing is that ESPN and these so-called mock draft gurus or whatever, they now keep saying, they keep showing the Raider shield. The shield keeps popping up on mock drafts for us trading up for one of these guys, be it Caleb or Jaden Daniels. And I'm telling you now, if I'm trading up, I'm going for the top dog. I'm not going to give somebody else another chance to trade above me if I trade to number 2. You understand what I'm saying? You got to make sure that nobody else gets an opportunity. If you trade up, you have to make it obsolete to make sure someone else don't leapfrog you and get your guy. Because no one's going to tell you, hey, the Jets are looking to trade up. the sorry ass Chargers are looking to trade up. The Broncos got nothing to trade, so they looking to move up. God knows they need a quarterback, and we'll get to that in a minute. I'm gonna tell you something. You got to understand the complexity of what's going on in the NFL war room to get the gist of what the GMs are thinking. Okay, and it's not just a situation of, well, we're going to do this and no one else is going to. No, you got 31 other teams trying to vie for what you're trying to do. Come on. Because there's a lot of teams that want Jaden Daniels. Chicago. The Jets. Okay. Atlanta. Okay. All right. The Broncos, they need a quarterback desperately. We're going to talk about that shortly. The Giants, nah. Minnesota, is that their biggest need if they keep Kirk Cousins? No. Washington definitely needs a quarterback. Now, they could slide down and get one of these other guys. They're a team that could get one of these others. They don't need to clean house to get it. They don't need to have a Jaden Daniels, or that'd be nice for them, but I'm gonna be selfish right now. You see me, right? I'm repping the Cliff Branch. Okay. All right. Don't give a doggone. And I rep him more than I rep any other jersey. You couldn't dare have me put on a Carr jersey ever again. Chiefs fans think they're gonna tag and trade Snead. Not gonna let him just walk for free. Like our old used car did us. Yeah, right. You got that right. If anybody's smart in the building, but see, here's problem. Kansas City's problem. Money. Come on, somebody put the dollar signs up. Money. Kansas City don't have a lot of money. They got to pay Mahomes his big deal he signed last year or the year before that, and you still paying your star wide tight end, okay, and you got to pay some of those offensive linemen, okay, and then you talking about you got to pay Jones the big bag of money. No, they can have about 3 or 4 good paid stars, and the rest of everybody has to be filling the spot. They can't pay everybody top dollar. That's not realistic. This ain't Madden where you can exclude the salary cap. Come on, talk to me, right? This ain't Madden. This is real life. I'm with you. Thank you. Sharif. I understand. People got to understand. I mean, it's going to take us to spend something to get the quarterback that we want. And if I'm the Raiders, I don't go back-to-back years on the trade of ones. If I have to give up 2 ones, I take this year's 13th pick, I couple it with a player, Renfro, Jacoby Myers, they both can go. Okay. All right. You got Devontae and you're going to build around him. We can do that. There's some free agents we can slot with him. We can do that. There's some guys in the draft we can get if we do that. But you take a 1 this year and then 2 years from now, you put those 2 together. Because let's be realistic. if we spend that to get up, we're probably not going to be a high draft pick come next year to two, this, that, and the other with this kind of player coming to our team. We're going to the playoffs. Yeah, book it. Maybe gonna be expensive. We may want to go up to 1, but Chicago don't want to drop all the way to 13. It's going to cost us to trade up 12 spots. Well, let's examine Chicago's pick. They're in a hell of a spot. Okay. You got Justin Fields. He's been there 4 years. He's mobile. He's accurate at times. He's lights out on some days, not all the time. Could it be the coordinator, or is it struggle with them? Hello from Central Missouri, Raider Nation 573. Stand up. That's right. Love to see the folks from out far. And I'm going to tell you something. You can look at the realistic possibility. Let's look from Chicago's perspective. You got a mobile quarterback, okay? He knows your system, but he's going to be in his what? I don't know how many coordinator now. Looks like Carr 2.0 going again. I don't know that we have to go get him when we have O'Connell, who is very accurate. Okay? All right? Now, Chicago does not want that pick. And they don't see anybody there for the number 1 pick. But I'll tell you what I would do if I were them. I would trade down with the Raiders and then trade back up with somebody else for that offensive lineman out of Penn State. Yep. Because now you got collateral. You can trade a couple or one of those picks to trade back up. It's been done. Okay. Chicago doesn't need a quarterback. They need wide receiver to go with that other guy they got over there. So, and he's not Devontae Adams type. He's good speed, but you know, he ain't that guy. You know? Oh yes, I love it. I love it. If you want to come in, hit the link and come on in and we can chop it up if you want to. Sharif, I'd love to hear from you on this perspective of this whole thing. GA Patriot is saying, GA, you can come in as well. If you want to come on into the show, I'll post the link again and let folks know with the link. Okay. It's right there. Okay. That's even for the folks on YouTube. If you want to come on in, you can. I'd love to hear from some of you guys. And the facts are the facts. Okay. Chicago. Sometimes you got to go online to get that gear. Yeah. Michael Smar, Michael Smar. Yeah, you got to go online to get that kind of hats and jersey or whatever. Sometimes it's easier, you know, to go to some cities who I don't know. I bought some of these hats and things when I was in Arizona. So I used to run a booster club out there called One Nation. Then we became the Knights of the Shield. KOS, stand up if you're in the house. Let's see here. I want to share it. If you guys want to come on in, you see the link I put down there in the comments. You should see it. Again, you know, if it's going to be a trade, the question is, will the Raiders spend the money? If not, they don't want to win. Finally. Ding, ding, ding. Thank you, Edward. Edward Winchell just hit the nail on the head. See, for some of you bandwagon riders, I'm not saying you, but for the bandwagon riders who don't know the history of the Raiders and all this and that, this is very true. Maybe they don't want to win, some would say. Maybe, oh, O'Connell. I mean, is it that? Is it O'Connell? Is he the problem? I don't know yet. He was only a rookie last year. He only won 5 games, but did you really expect him to come in with Josh McDaniels at the helm and shoot the lights out when Josh McDaniels wanted to go with Garoppolo? How you doing, Willie Wayne? God bless you. Welcome to the Raider Nation. You might want to slap mama on tonight when some of these ideas come at you, but I want to get to it real quick. Denver, as the New York Jets are reported to give Zach the permission to look for a trade partner. He done stunk up the show every time he's gotten an opportunity. He was supposed to be a high promise kid. But hey, I honestly see him coming to play for the Broncos. He might go to Washington. He might go, well, he's up there in New York. He might go to New England. See? What's good, family? Hey, Raider Speedy. All right. Nice to have you in here. Yes. I'm gonna get to your comment in a minute, Edward. But it says it pisses me off that Davis spent millions of dollars to buy the Aces, but won't pull the trigger to make the Raiders relevant. We shall see. I'm gonna tell you something. March is going to tell the truth. Okay, you still got all of April until almost the end of April to have the draft, and it might come up to the very end for the draft to happen before we know the full, the full Monty on, are the Raiders in it to trade up, or are they going to stay pat, or are they going to trade up and get somebody else? We've seen it before. Telesco will, huh? We shall see. We shall see. It says, I can't remember that time, the last time the Raiders pulled the trigger, and our record reflects that. Okay? All right? So yeah, we haven't had, I can't remember if Woodson, well, the Raiders were in position to get Bo Jackson. I think they traded something, but I can't remember. I don't recall a time to see this kind of action and sexy, how do you call it? Sexy maneuvering to get to number one. It's a big, intriguing question. Will the Las Vegas Raiders spend the draft capital / players for a top pick to get? There's no other Jaden Daniels in there. I look at May. He all right. We got O'Connell to do what he's doing. I like his size. he can definitely compete with a Herbert and Mahomes. I don't know. I haven't seen the kid run. Beyond that, he looks like a Josh Allen type without the legs and size. Uh, where are we at here? Okay. Right. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Paul Batista says, "Where's my captain?" Huh? I'm right here tonight. Angelo's going to be joining me shortly. We kind of tag team this one around 7:30, and he'll be on in about 45 minutes or so. But uh, 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 I wanted to tell somebody that even in spite uh, of what Captain is going through, he has left you in great hands with a knowledgeable Raider fan. I'm from the old guard. I've been around since 1973 is when I was born. I became a Raider in 76. So I know a few things about Raider football, other teams' football, the history of football, and some things some of y'all just don't know. Okay? You might have to go to Google to answer some of my questions. Caleb is the next Mahomes. Um, okay. Let's start the debate. I ain't seen a lot of film, and I'm out here on the West Coast. I just haven't seen. I haven't seen. He says Caleb gonna be the next Bryce Young. Maybe. Well, somebody says, couldn't we draft Penix Jr. in the second round? Well, the second round might not be there if we have to trade up. Okay. You can forget that. Let's look at what it's going to really cost us. What is it really going to cost us? Let's get realistic. Get off of PlayStation and talk to me. That's not realistic. Let's talk to me about reality. It's going to cost you 2 ones, maybe 3 to move up. If you don't put a player or 2 in that mix, it's 2 twos and players. Okay? Future pick. Something this and that. It is what it is. Okay? Penix. Come on, crew. Come on. Family. So I like what GA is saying. We're gonna get to that in a minute. I've said it before on the Captain Jack show. I said uh uh Caleb might drop out of the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pick. Okay, it's very possible. Okay, these guys saying they don't have to come to the combine. The wide receiver, what's his name? The junior kid out of man, trying to remember some of these names. There's so many, but some of these players are talking about they're not even going to participate in the combine. So what's the point? And I agree with them. If you got film, why you need me to come work out there? Maybe risk tearing an ACL or getting injured or getting a strain or something that may get me to drop down in the draft. I understand where the brothers are coming from. I really do. See, AP knows Jaden Daniels. If he values the youngster well enough, AP will go get him. I saw the tape. I saw the tape, Raider Nation, and I got googly eyes. You know, like you've been in the club. Come on, for the men. You know, like you've been in the club, and back in the day, and you remember you saw that not so fine girl, but when you put on the rose-colored shades and they call them the beer goggles, and you could look, and she looked better throughout the night the more you drank. But you ain't got to do that with this guy. He looks the part. He looks the part. Okay. Penix is another Richardson. Yeah, I'm not sold on Penix. If Jaden wants to be a Raider, he needs to take one for the team. Go catch a misdemeanor. I love you, man. if, oh my gosh. Come on, y'all, laugh with me. You see this comment? If Jaden wants to be a Raider, oh man, I got tears in my eyes. That's too funny. He needs to take one for the team. Go catch a misdemeanor shoplifting charge in a Raider jersey and fall in the draft. Okay? You're right. Oh man, make my eyes burn with this. You know, when you look at excuse me. When you look at the reality, excuse me, I need to get a tissue. You grab the teardrops on mine. I'm gonna tell you, you know, when you realize what's really at stake versus the other drafts, it's hard. It's hard to look at where we are at 13 and teams that are up there. Thank you. Not this one. Yeah, that. Thanks. Yeah. That other teams are in position to get who we got without question, or who we want, should I say. And no matter which way you look at it, up or down, yeah, Daniel's going to throw at his pro day. Right. 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 I feel you, Charles Washington. Right. They're not who we used to see come and play ball, right? Kids in college are getting paid to uh, play college ball. When I played, I didn't get no money. All right. Here we go. Somebody said something really crazy a minute ago. And okay, here we go. Edward, come on in and talk to me, bro. Make sense of this one. We're not giving up Crosby. No way. You give him up, what defense do we have left? The secondary's just starting to catch on. Okay. Jock Jones and these guys. We have something cooking on the stove. Okay. So if we give up Max Crosby, who's the cornerstone of that defense, okay, we ain't had one of him since Howie Long. Come on, he's a rare breed. Okay, I saw him come out of college, and I remember when the Raiders picked him. I said, "Oh, he's gonna be something special if they just let him loose." Okay, ain't got to worry about nothing. This guy can go get the quarterback every play, and his motor doesn't stop. TJ Watt gets injured, right? Myles Garrett, he sat out some games. Come on. Jones, he's not an every down defensive end. I've seen him rotated in Kansas City because he's overweight. Nick Bosa, he get injured. He go out. Crosby, he plays every down, injured or not. You don't trade a generational talent like that. Come on, Edward Winchell. Mac is as good as Crosby. Mac's old. No, Crosby's just coming into his prime. No way. Right. Too many Madden playing fans that believe all the clickbait. Right, Charles Washington. Right. Mac is a lot older than Crosby. That's not even an even swap. Not even close. I agree. Now, how are you going to compare Mac to Crosby? Crosby's more athletic. Mac's one way. Mac didn't even touch O'Connell when they came to play the Raiders in the stadium on that 63 burger that they put up on him last year. So what are we talking about? Mac didn't even get a tackle. Right. Max is the face of the franchise. Right, Mike Sarah. See, Max ain't for sale. You got that right. He's a Raider. He ain't going nowhere. Him, whether we like it or not, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs. He ain't moving those pieces. Soon to be Jock Jones. Okay? Book it. Yeah. You know why he touched him in LA? Because Josh McDaniels was the coach. Because Josh McDaniels was the coach. Matt Marinovich, I'm going to tell you something. I'd like to dream real quick, but I'll tell you this. Ain't no way. No. Daniels ain't going to make it past number 2. You got to spend those ducats if you want to go get him. You're going to have to. Okay? McDummy had his head up his ass. You're right. There was some plays and coaching decisions. We all saw it. Why are you going for field goals and we need 6? What game are you in, bro? Right. McDaniels made some bonehead plays. Says we need to pay Max enough to buy a third X for his name. Yeah. He already got a contract. Next contract he going for the bag. Okay. Edward Winchell. You see what I'm talking about? Good coaching matters. These players, when Antonio Pierce was named the interim head coach, said, quote, "We will walk through a wall for this guy." Okay? That's real stuff in the locker room. Okay? Chicago gets May. Washington gets Caleb. Chicago don't want a quarterback. They have offensive line needs. Justin Fields is running for his life. You keep Justin Fields, you got to protect him. Who do you go for? They're going to have to reach and go get that offensive tackle. But they're not going to reach and go get him when they can get him in lower, just a few ticks lower. So they're going to have to trade with the Raiders if the Raiders trade for that. Then they're going to have to trade back up to go get their offensive tackle right after the quarterbacks are all taken. Okay? That's the order of things. Quarterback, quarterback, quarterback. They said at least 4 to 5 quarterbacks are going to be taken off the board in the first round. They don't know the order, but Daniels is moving up. Okay? All right? I'm just saying. Now, Staley was a horrible coach, Bishop. Staley wasn't coaching the defense. He wasn't the defensive coordinator. Okay. Okay. What does Chicago do? The pressure adds on every day that goes by. They're getting calls every day. Somebody's going to trade them what they need. It could be an offensive lineman of some great magnitude, some big guy, whoever it is. You know, I'm telling you what I see them doing. They're going to trade down and then have to trade back up to get okay. See, Matt Marinovich. Thank you. Chicago will get their left tackle at 9. There you have it. They don't need the number 1 pick. Not with all these quarterbacks up there boasting, bursting at the seams to be picked by somebody. They're going to take the trade. And that's not bad for them. If they're picking at 9, which they are, and then they get another pick, just a few 4 more picks down. It's fine. It's fine. They can go get them another wide receiver. They can get a running back. They can get a defensive tackle. They really need to go get, since Mac has left them with no dogs on that defensive line. 31 teams wish they were in Chicago position. Yep. I said that at the beginning of the show. There's 31 other teams vying for the number 1 position. You don't need, okay? You don't need to go to number 2 to Washington. You got to go all the way up if you want Jaden Daniels. And if the Raiders get Jaden Daniels, okay, somebody's going to be calling a trade with them if they trade to the number 1 pick. That's just how it goes. I'll get right back to that in a minute. The 2 first, 1 second rounder, Renfro and Colton Miller. Timeout. That's too much. Renfro, yes. Colton Miller, I don't know about that one. Okay. Good point, GA Patriot. Because at the end of the day, okay, right, but Colton Miller has been with us a long time too, and you just don't give that guy away. But if you give that guy away, which is a left tackle who the hell are you going to have blocking for who's supposed to be the quarterback? Starting O'Connell? He'll be running for his life. Even if we get one of these guys, O'Connell's probably going to be the starter just for safety concerns. Come on, everybody. Stop playing. We all know what's going to happen. But if you give up Colton Miller, I don't see other guys. There's two other main guys. James is leaving, and some other dude is leaving. Who's that leave us with? At left tackle. Illuminor is talking about leaving. That's the other guy. Illuminor and James are talking about leaving. So there, they testing free agency. See? It's becoming decision time with Colton. New payday looming. He ain't getting the bag. He ain't getting the bag. He's on the back end of his playing career. Something. But he ain't getting the bag. Illuminor can go. Okay. Let's go get a high dollar rookie and trade away his protection. Make that make sense. Right. No way. I'm not touching my line. That's off limits. You have to keep what you have right now. And if you're going to lose guys like James, who was a good center, now they got to move in Parnham into the center position, which ain't a bad thing to do. But now that leaves you to fill right guard and left tackle. I mean, right tackle. Illuminor can go hold and false start for another team he wants. Yeah, well, yeah. You can't really blame the holding part because every lineman does it. The part of not getting caught is the trick. Miller showed sleepage and injury issues. Slippage, yeah. I know I can't argue, but he still is our cornerstone on that offensive line. Who else we got? Y'all talking to cut your nose off to spite your face on the offensive line. Who I still want somebody to tell me who in the hell are we going to get to replace him? A rookie in the maybe what? Free agent market? If we have to give up all our picks, like somebody said a minute ago, I'd have to go back to that because that I don't know what this is doing. Here we go. Okay. See, Edward Winchell thinks we'd have to give up 24 and 25 first round. That's true. Or maybe 26, depending on what Chicago wants or what they will allow. And all our picks in 24 and 25 to go for one and a starter. Well, let me tell you something. That's bogus. This ain't Herschel Walker days. And that deal that Denver did to get Russell Wilson, they're stupid. The Walmart group, they're dumb for doing that. I wouldn't have done that 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. I don't give a doggone. I'm not trading away everything. You talking about I got to give up the second rounds and the third rounds and the fourth rounds and the fifth and the sixth and the seventh. Who's worth that? Chicago is going to be desperate to move out of one because they don't need the pick. Okay? Y'all need to stop with that. Y'all really need to stop with that. So let's go right into pressure mode. Pressure cooker. You think? Here's the deal. If the trade to go to number one does not fit what the Raiders want, is it worth it now to go trade for number two or number three and miss out on the guy you really want? Remember the Cleveland deal in 2016? That was a long time ago from now. What did they do, Sharif? Give it to me. What if Jaden Poole and Eli Manning? I like this. What if Jaden pulls an Eli Manning and demands a trade to Vegas? Now you're talking my language. I really think they can do that. Okay. Okay. Uh, I'll tell you something here. All the folks that think that we can trade up to get a Jaden Daniels, is he worth it? Is he worth it? I believe he is. I believe he's money. I've seen the tape. I've seen enough clips. I've seen him in positions where he kind of shows that Aaron Rodgers type pull the pocket in to get the guys to bite like they're going to get a sack, and then he moves around and just walks. I mean, literally walks right in the end zone. Okay? He does. I keep clicking onto this here. He says, I don't see anybody demanding a trade to the Raiders. We are a shitty team, and the league knows that. Okay. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Use the draft to build foundation for the future. Use free agency to bring in your superstar flashy players. All right. So we got Antonio Pierce. Guys say that they'll walk through a wall for him. Okay. So you know who you got. So he's a great coach to attract free agents to come and play here. Book it. They're going to get a defensive tackle or somebody to come play for our squad. It's coming. Offensive line. They're going to pull somebody in here with the cap that we have. This whole thing of the draft, I really see us doing something, not just sitting pat at 13 when there's people out there we desperately need. Okay? Charles Washington, whatever we do, I just hope it works. Tired of not being in the playoffs. Yep. Hello. Has anybody looked at our coaching staff? We're stacked. For all the assistant positions, we got former head coaches. Man, these guys coming with all kind of experience. Okay, even at the quarterback coach and all that, we loaded. All we got to do is get the right personnel in there. Okay, and if we had Jaden Daniels in the locker room, I'm just going to go there for a second. If we had Jaden Daniels working as the number two quarterback under O'Connell, just for argument's sake, and O'Connell happened to get, start wetting the bed, throwing in an INTs or injured, that's a hell of a weapon to have. Okay. Two times in 22 effing years. Right. It sucks. Right. 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 Whoever the Facebook user is, come on over to YouTube. I'd love to see who you are. Not only personnel, but chemistry as well. Right. Right. See, because end of the day, what does it really mean? What does it mean? Okay. Pierce was 3-1 in our division with some loser coaches roster and playbook. Did y'all just hear that? Antonio Pierce hasn't even had a chance to draft anybody yet in a full year, coach him in a full year. He's already gone out as a winner. That's why he was picked, because he turned this thing around from nothing. With the players we had, we shouldn't have been losing. No way in hell we should have lost to Minnesota in our house and not even scored a field goal. Something was wrong with that. Okay? Dysfunction at the most. Maybe guys didn't prepare. Maybe they saw Minnesota coming in and said, oh, we can beat them. We don't need to study as hard. We don't need to, show up. That's what you get when you overlook players. Okay? Teams. Okay? There's the link if you want to come on over to YouTube. We'd love to have you. I'm going to open up the phone lines. If people want to come on in and talk, that's fine with me. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Captain Jack Show right here. One of the best, if not the best talk show this side of Mississippi. Somebody better talk to me tonight. I'm going to tell you now, if you don't know, you better ask mama. I am not up here to waste my time. I'm here to talk Raiders, and intrigue you into why it is better to go for the trade. Okay? Pierce was 3-1 in our division with some loser coaches roster and playbook. Okay? Okay? Right. The Raiders suffered with McDaniels for 8 games and still only missed the playoffs by a field goal. We are not starting from scratch. We have a decent foundation already. Yeah, that part. That part. I want to bring my good friend in, Angelo. Everybody, welcome Angelo into the house. Give him a hell yeah. Go Raiders. Come on. Come on, everybody.
Thank you.
Come on, Raider Nation. Do better than that. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Don't be quiet. Don't sit there on your hands. That's right. I want to see bloody knuckles in here tonight. Defense! Raiders!
Thanks, Bishop. I'll give you a little bit of a break for a second. I want to first of all say thanks to everybody. Thanks, Bishop, for being on the show yesterday too. So a lot of you guys were on the Wednesdays where I'm representing Captain Jack for the Wild Wild West show at 4:30. And yeah, no, just like you were saying, Bishop, it got. I don't know if you saw that part where it got pretty heated, but about 20 minutes in, 2 of them had said something. And then I started getting, then it got hot. And then they were trying to tell me, whoa, calm down, man. We didn't mean to trigger you. So it was pretty funny. So if you guys want to rewatch that show, it's on the Captain Jack channel. It's the Wild Wild West show from yesterday. But It got pretty hot about 20 minutes in because they said something about Max Crosby. And then I had to just, I had to sit there and speak up a little bit about it. I was reading through some of the comments. So essentially, like, as you know,
the Chief fan.
yeah, it did, right? Yeah. It was, yeah, the chief fan said something. He didn't mean to. He apologized later and said, I didn't mean to trigger you on it. Like, I understood their NFL point about, again, I'd rather you guys watch it because I don't want to spend the time on this show re-explaining it. It's actually pretty entertaining when it got pretty hot. But yeah, like we were scheduled to take our show and mainly talk about offensive line. And then we ended up doing a whole like 30-minute discussion on why I thought it's kind of wrong to not say that Max Crosby is the best pass rusher in the entire NFL league. So if you want to check it out again, it's on the Captain Jack channel. It's pretty funny. And then for the rest of you guys, I want to say thank you to you all who've been following. I've done 2 Sundays for Captain Jack now. Like the first Sunday was crazy. It was like 300 people. So thank you. And then a lot of you guys are just rewatching this stuff. So I just want to say thanks. Thanks, GA. You're always there for me too. So I appreciate you. But yeah, no, I'm mainly, Bishop, I do the research, then I give it to the people. And, there's people even in this comment where I'm already seeing some of their comments and you and I have talked about this before. We don't have to agree on everything. And that's what I do on the shows is you don't have to agree with what I'm telling you, but I'm just going to give you straight facts. So, for example, today was the Combine Day. We got to see defensive tackles. We got to see defensive linemen. We got to see linebackers, right? And it was really exciting to watch it, Bishop. But even more exciting if you actually paid attention to what AP's interviews have been and what Telesco's interviews have been. And you have to understand that when those interviews were happening, they were not in the same room. That they were totally not in the same room, and they were saying it all at different times. But the fact of the matter is, they're saying the same thing. So, number one, and I know you know this already, Bishop. Aiden O'Connell is the starting quarterback. There is no debate to it. It's already been said. Telesco has said it. AP has said it. Until he loses the job of starting quarterback, he is the starting quarterback. So for everybody who sits there and keeps asking, well, who's going to be our starting quarterback? Your head coach already told you who the starting quarterback is. You could literally look it up on the Raider YouTube where he says it to the press that Aiden O'Connell is the starting quarterback, but he's also spoken to Aiden O'Connell, who is showing up to the facility every day, even in the offseason, studying everything and whatnot. But he's already explained to him, now you could lose the job. AP then also mentioned to the staff or to the press, he said that goes the same for everybody though. Max could lose his job, Devontae could lose his job. That's the way we're doing it. That's because you can't, if you're going to do that to the quarterback, and that's the most important position, then you have to do it for everyone else too. So no one in our team is safe in that sense of, well, that person's definitely not if you suck, not if you're terrible. AP is making it well known. Bishop, go ahead.
I just for a moment as I see the combine is going on and they're looking at things. I thought it wasn't going to start until the end of March from what the reports were when I first saw about the ESPN and all this, but wow. Okay, great. Cause ratings are going. So yeah, good. Let's go. Get it on.
No, and then the other thing too is that, and this is important to know too, Bishop, is the Raiders currently right now in every show that I do, whether it's Captain Jack show or all the other shows that I get invited to, like Protect the Shield, we're the most relevant team in the entire NFL right now. We're so relevant, in fact, and I talked about this yesterday, that when they were talking about Chris Jones and how great he is, I said in the combine right now, there are literally videos of players talking about how they modeled their game after Max Crosby. Now, when they ask them and they say, who is it that you're paying attention to? They always say Max Crosby. And a majority of them even have told AP, I want to play for the Raiders because they want to play with Max Crosby. So for people who may be out there who think, oh, the Raiders this and they're messing up and AP needs to be quiet and we're not relevant. Okay, you're just not paying attention to the news. You're just not paying attention to the news because every single day, all I ever hear them talk about is the Raiders. What's the Raiders going to do? Is the Raiders doing this? Is the Raiders doing that? Did you hear what Antonio Pierce said? And that's what I mean is we've been more relevant. Wouldn't you agree right now, Bishop? This is the most relevant the Raiders have been in at least the last 2 years, man. Like it's like Raider talk every day in regular media. People. So stop complaining about AP talking because I like the fact that he's talking all that smack. I love it, in fact. And the reason why I love it is because our GM is the other guy. Our GM, they're like the perfect pair because our GM is the calmer guy. And then AP is like the we're going to go get it guy. But then when you hear hard questions, like when they said, well, AP about choosing a quarterback or doing this and that, AP always answers it with respect. And he's like, it's something that I talked about with Telesco, but at the same time, that's Telesco. And see, like they're respecting each other's positions. And I'll tell you this right now, for all you people who keep saying, oh, I wish we'd trade up. It's looking more and more like we're not trading up because even AP today on an interview said, I wish we had more picks. And then I kind of joked around with Telesco about it. But then he said, but I know that's his job or whatever, right? So again, Bishop, this is not coming from my mouth. This is coming from your mouths.
Hold on. Now, see here. I can't reach across the screen and give you a big smack, but I want to say this to you. In the land of Las Vegas, it's the one who shows his best poker face. It's the one who can outlast and not say anything. It's the one who Captain Jack knows who loose lips sink the ship. They're going to say that to put people off the scent. That's what they do. That's their job, right? But someone asked me, Charles Washington, you willing to give up 3 number 1 picks, bro? No. Wait. It depends if that's our greatest need and we ain't going to see this kind of guy come next year and we might not be in this position next year. I might be willing to do it, seeing as though this guy might get us to the playoffs. Yes, if it changes the way our offense rolls along, other than this stank-ass routine of 3-0, that kind of game, no. Them ain't Raiders. Them are wannabes. And when you play like that, when you put on the uniform and you play like that, that says something to your character. That says something to your ability. That says something to your self-esteem as a Raider. We haven't had the opportunity to go get a Kenny Stabler type player in a long time at quarterback. And I'm just going to giggle and be like a kid in a candy store just for 5 minutes. If we had Jaden Daniels in the Raider uniform playing in Kansas City, I would say, oh, Mahomes, eat your heart out every time he scores from throwing or running it in. He is, in my opinion, better than Caleb. I like it. So if it cost me 3, which I don't think it's going to cost that, I think they want 2 number 1s and some players that they need in Chicago. Could be right.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So now I'm just going to speak facts, Bishop. This is just
Colton
facts,
Miller.
man. Don't get mad at me because I'm not mainstream TV. But Daniel Jeremiah, who works for the NFL Network, who does all of this stuff, already even today, like again, guys, this is what I always tell you. If you come on Sunday for my show at 6:00, you can bring all the heat you want, but do not come at me if you didn't watch the shows or you don't know the facts. It's okay for you to give your opinion, but when I actually tell you a fact, you need to just say, oh, okay, I didn't see that. I didn't see that was out there. So, Bishop, the going rate for the Washington Commanders at number 2 to go up to number 1, that's only one spot, Bishop. It's only one spot. They got to give up this year's number one, next year's number one. They also have to give up their number 2, their number 3, and their number 5 this year. That's to move up one. That's crazy. The price is insane.
Wait. All right, okay.
Bishop.
Okay,
Bishop, I'm not done.
I gotta tell you why.
No, like this. Time out. Hondo Carpenter has been saying for 2 weeks that in order for a deal like somebody from 10 to go up to 1, it's at least going to cost 3 number 1s and 3 number 2s and maybe even more, right? So, and then again, this is what's being said. Okay, this is what's being said. All I'm telling you is, for when you play the game, when you actually play the board, you wait to see what happens, because if it happens a certain way and then all of a sudden Jane Daniels starts to fall, now you can sit there and talk to the Patriots maybe and say to the Patriots, look, man, you guys need more things than we need. We don't need that.
Oh,
you know, right? No. You know, like I'm just saying, like this is, but I know what you're thinking.
I know New England getting their hands on the guy that is meant to be in the silver and black. Period. I don't want New England getting anywhere close to the guy that we're supposed to have if we're wanting him. Okay,
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna tell you. I want to explain something. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna just tell you. My whole thing with it is, I don't know about you, Bishop, but I told you I'm on recovery. I got tons of time. I probably watched more tapes on Jane Daniels and Caleb Williams and all these other guys than and you know, if some of you guys who are watching the show right now and are commenting, if you watched more tape than me, then great, man. Let's debate it. Let's go ahead and have a debate about Jaden Daniels. Do I think Jaden Daniels is amazing? In college, yes. What are the things that I'm concerned about with someone like Jaden Daniels? It's the same concern everybody has. When he gets hit, it does not look pretty. And if you want to see a game that really convinces you that maybe Jaden Daniels is the type of guy that even if we drafted him, even if we got him, we got to sit him for at least a year so we can build him up. It's the Alabama game, man. Take a look at it. All you got to do is take a look at it. If he's taking them hits from them Alabama boys, what do you think every week's going to be like in the NFL, man? So let's say we give up 3 ones, Bishop. Let's just say we give up 3 ones, which it's going to cost probably at least that much. And I'll tell you why it's going to cost at least that much. It's the Trey Lance deal. The Trey Lance deal costs 3 ones and a third. If we get away with just having to give up 3 number 1 picks to go get them, that's a good deal, I guess. I mean that's better than the Trey Lance deal. We're giving away less, but even still, Aiden O'Connell will be your starter until Jane Daniels is big enough and strong enough and ready enough. And for anyone who thinks I'm crazy, Anthony Richardson, people, he's 245 pounds. In his rookie year. By the way, this is a guy who ran at the combine. He ran the 40 at 4.4. That dude is as fast as Jane Daniels. He's way bigger than Jane Daniels. And that fool got injured 3 times with concussions and needed a full surgery. So what did the Colts do? The Colts was like, we're just going to sit him, let him have a surgery, and then hopefully we can start him next year. You know what the Colts should have done, Bishop? The Colts should have sat his ass and let Gardner Minshew be the quarterback for a whole year anyways. But their dumbasses let him start. So what do you think, guys? We go get Jaden Daniels, great. You're going to be cheering him on from the bench, because I will guarantee you there's no way AP and Telesco will lose their jobs to have another Robert Griffin III scenario. You let the kid start, then he gets injured, and then he gets injured pretty much forever. That's a terrible scenario for that kid. And that's what happened to Robert Griffin. He's the same size, and that's exactly what happened to Robert Griffin. They should have sat his ass for a year, just like Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith for a year, and get ready. But go ahead, Bishop. I'm going to let you go for a bit.
You know what this sounds like? It sounds like the part where any of you play video game and you get to the draft and you see the guys tangibles and the good comments, and then there when they don't have nothing negative to say, but when you see the negative part and you just cringe because you're like, dang, does it have to be that? Everybody has something, but do they have to say that? Does it have to look like that? Because on your mind, you don't really want to do anything with that kind of player. But at the end of the day, Washington, they'll take any quarterback they can get their hands on. Okay. They don't have a particular style because that new head coach, come on, he don't even know. And at the last end of the day, he's not AP. But AP and Tom Telesco, you want to bet Tom Telesco ain't going to spin the wheels on the opportunity to get a generational type of talent to get out there and don on the silver and black so we can be competitive at quarterback better than O'Connell's given us? They will start his ass if O'Connell wets the bed and starts throwing INTs and pick sixes and nonsense. I'm going to tell you right now, that's how Garoppolo lost his job. O'Connell got lucky to be in that position and just gifted. Now O'Connell's older. He's what, 24? Okay. He's not 21. He's not a rookie. But at the end of the day, I'm worried about how it will fit in our system if he is the starter, hypothetically. Because if they reach
He's a starter
that far,
until he's not the starter.
Jersey's going to be selling. All the hype's going to be out. Eric, all of us, even you, going to be wearing that jersey saying, let's go, Daniels.
Absolutely. Of course. Of course, Bishop, if you're a Raider fan, you're gonna root for whoever it is that we get. I'm just trying to explain to you, like, for example, when you were saying Aiden O'Connell's not that young, you're right. He's the same age as Bo Nix. And how many Raider fans are like, let's go get Bo Nix? He's the same age, people. Same exact age. So it doesn't matter. The difference is Aiden O'Connell has already won you 5 games in the pros. None of them rookie quarterbacks has won you jack squat. And the last time I checked, Bryce Young looked terrible. He looked horrible. All right. So unless we find the next CJ Stroud and we don't got to trade nothing to go get him, no, man, we got to stick to our guns and just be cool.
But Bo Nix has thrown over 10,000 yards.
Yeah,
that ain't nothing to snuff. And I don't care what people want to say. Well, it ain't the SEC. Yeah, they get after it in the West. Okay, you can't come out there tipping. You got to come out there and play ball, and your head got to be on a swivel because somebody will knock you out. I like his size. I like his accuracy. He has some questions, but all quarterbacks do. Joe Montana had questions. Jerry Rice had questions. He sucked his first year. Most people didn't know that. But then he started practicing with bricks up there in East Palo Alto and carrying bricks and throwing them and with his dad and all that. Trained up in the hills to get better because he didn't want to ever play like he did the first year of in the pros. Broke every record at Alcorn State. Mississippi Valley State, not Alcorn, Mississippi Valley State, and came out there and lit it up. But when he got to the pros, he didn't look like nobody special. He turned into that because he worked on his craft. Now, like I said, depending on who we get, I will look at their intangibles, size, Ackerman, the Umungata, and I want to see what they say, how they really answer the question. Is it football or is it money? Because I talked to an agent years ago who told me these guys don't ever play up to what their ability is. Okay? They hold back. And I don't know what they're waiting for. If I was a player and I made it to the pros, I'm trying to win a Super Bowl. I want my name in the books forever, ever. Okay? But these guys out here playing, that's not my old guard. Come on. Cliff Branch, he didn't get paid none of this kind of money, but he won all 3 Super Bowls. Okay? And at the end of the day, do many people know that his cousin is Marcus Allen?
So
there's news for a nugget right there. Okay. People are worried that Aiden O'Connell ain't gonna get us to the promised land. I have question in that thing too, but because he's a rookie, I'm not sure he's
Bishop, listen, that's fair. Okay. But here's what I'm trying to tell you is all I can attack people with is fact. So you were sitting there, you were like, Bo Nix threw for 10,000 yards. Aiden O'Connell threw for almost 10,000 yards too, just so that you know, for Purdue. And when Aiden O'Connell was coming out of college, he was one of the people that everybody wanted. And here's another thing about Aiden O'Connell that you might want to actually know. If he would have went to the draft the year before instead of going to the draft the year that he did, he would have been a first-round pick. He would have been in the first round. But he wanted to go ahead and play one more year at college so he could develop. This is the type of people that you want. Mature leaders who go ahead and in the offseason only care about football, right? You know what? We don't want no superstar, man, that's going to be like dangling chains and, like driving Rolls Royces. We want a quarterback to be a leader and somebody who's going to be consistent. Now, whether it's Aiden O'Connell or not, I say let them play it out on the field. Let whoever it is that's going to compete play it out on the field, and we're going to get the best result possible. Now, like Sharif said, Black Thanos was saying, don't forget the defense. I know, man. That's exactly why I don't think we should go trade the farm, because we need to address the defense. Now, Bishop, I know you got a family, man, and you got to take care of a bunch of stuff. I don't know if you got to watch the combine today, but that was all defense. And let me tell you something, my brother. That Byron Murphy sure looked like Aaron Donald today. That guy looked scary good. And that guy might be someone we can get at 13. That guy looked amazing. That Lati Latu that you're talking about, as long as his neck checks out, that boy looked amazing today. Right? Let me tell you something else. Now you're starting to see all these guys. Now you're starting to see them all, right? This dude, Chop Robinson, let me tell you guys something about Chop Robinson. That guy who is a linebacker ran to 44.4 seconds. That is faster than some wide receivers. There are some beasts. There are so many players just today, just for defensive tackles, inside defensive linemen, edges, and linebackers that are so good. It's like the less picks you have this year, the worse possibilities you're going to have. Versus if you can get a lot of this talent right now, that would be great. So I'm not saying that the Raiders won't consider trading up. I'm just saying I'm one of the people that's like, if you're trading up, then I better see that free agency money go to a lot of people like a Chris Jones or a DJ Reader, and addressing every need that we have, because we have offensive line needs, which for you guys who didn't get to watch it, watch the Sunday show. I talked about all the offensive line needs. We need that right side to be taken care of. So it's either going to be free agency or draft, Bishop. It's either going to be free agency or draft. So Aiden O'Connell isn't my biggest concern. If he won his 5 games and he started 10 in a really crappy scenario, he's not my concern. You know what my concern is? My concern is just about every single offensive lineman that we have are all free agents. So what are we doing, Bishop? Who's filling those holes? Are we re-signing Andre James? And if we do re-sign Andre James, do we really want to spend up to $9 million a year on a guy like that? Or can we go get Cushenberry for a lot cheaper? Or can we draft Jackson Powers Johnson? Can we trade down? Right? There's so many different scenarios. That's why if you guys rewatch all of these shows that I've been on, I keep saying the same thing. I'm not saying we won't trade up. I'm just saying think about all the scenarios that you have to play out. Because if we do trade up, we need to use a majority of the free agency money to be a playoff team next year. If we don't trade up, now we can use the free agency money to go outbid the Kansas City Chiefs on getting someone like Chris Jones. Like, or we can go get Jalen Johnson for $20 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different ways this can go. We can't just keep saying trade the farm to go get Jane Daniels. Aiden O'Connell isn't good enough.
But hold on. Well, but look, let's not ignore the facts. I'm a realistic type of person at the end of the day. I look at what have you done for me lately versus the smack and the hype and all that BS. I'm gonna tell you something, and you can't hear me cuss, but you can just imagine what I'm saying right now when I say, it's win or bust for some of the coaching staffs that are on our coaching staff. They not in it for 4 or 5 year. Okay, they're not in it for a let's see what we can do next year. They're trying to win now. And as far as O'Connell is concerned, he was a rookie. That's the only pass I'm giving the man. His ability in the preseason, he looked like a real thing to me. So something's wrong. Maybe his psyche, I don't know. But we do need someone else back there. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you look at AOC did not win us one game. Okay? The only game I look at that he did is that Charger game. Kansas City on Christmas, he didn't score nothing in the second half.
He didn't lose it for us either, though, Bishop.
Okay? Not
even any games that you say he didn't win for us, he didn't lose it for us either.
But if it was up to him and not our defense.
Yeah, I know.
You're not listening. If it was up to him, and if we didn't have the defense we have, we would have lost.
Bishop, okay? I'm hearing you loud and clear.
He's not.
This sounds like
things that. He's not doing the things that, Boston's doing. I mean, not Boston, but Buffalo. He's not doing the things that Miami's doing. They have a quarterback to throw that ball all around the yard. Come on, Kansas City hasn't really been who they are, even though they won the damn Super Bowl. They shouldn't even have been there. And I'm gonna tell you, Lamar Jackson, he's there because he can run and he can get the ball out. But if we can I'm gonna tell you something. I understand what you're saying. I really do. I really do understand. And I understand what AP is saying, partly and because he wishes we had more picks. Right. But you got what you got. You got to do the best with what you got. And at this point, Tom Telesco going to have to put on his best thinking cap to get this done, because I'm going to tell you something. It says how many games were lost by Dak trying to force something to Lamar. Yeah, but I think Lamar kind of threw that game, and I think the dude in Detroit bet on his team to lose, and I bet that the refs has something to do with all of this too. So,
Bishop, listen, I hear you loud and clear.
And what's crazy is,
Bishop, I hear you loud and clear. I really do. I hear you loud and clear. And the fact that you're comparing Aiden O'Connell's performance to Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson exactly tells you what I'm telling you. Until we actually give the kid an entire full year on his own, we're not going to know what we got. Now, here's the thing. If we don't give it to him, it'll be because he lost it during training camp to someone who's better, right? So, great. If somebody beats him out, great. What everybody's saying, like Charles Washington, is, are you honestly going to give up 6 premium picks to go get a guy that might maybe beat out the starting quarterback that we already have? No. We might as well go just pay $30 million to Kirk Cousins then. Because one thing's for sure, Kirk Cousins has more resume than Aiden O'Connell, so Kirk Cousins would probably beat out Aiden O'Connell, right? but we're not going that route. That's not the route we're going. So I hear what you're saying, but I'm also telling you that the Ravens won the Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer. The Ravens won the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco, right? Like Eli Manning won the Super Bowl not because of Eli Manning, because of the defense. Twice, right? Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl in Denver, not because of Peyton Manning, because of the defense, right? Right. So I'm tired of rebuilding. I'm tired of that crap. Let's go rebuild. I'm so tired of it. We finally have a coach that understands what the Raider way is. We finally have the owner paying all this money. How many coaches we got? We got more coaches than we got players right now. Like, honestly, we got a ton of coaches. You know what I'm saying? So let the coaches coach. Let the players play. Let us pick people. But we're not in a rebuilding mode anymore. And by the way, Aiden O'Connell did not lose us the Colts game. You know who lost us the Colts game? A bogus offsides call on Jack Jones. That's what lost us the Colts game. It was a close game, just like the 49er Chiefs Super Bowl was a close game. But what lost the Raiders the game was a bogus offsides call. If the call was not made, we win. And here's what's crazy. And I've said this on like 3 different shows. Would any of you who don't like Aiden O'Connell be saying any of these things if we would have made it to the playoffs? And what if we would have won a game in the playoffs? Now Aiden O'Connell has a playoff win. Derek Carr don't got a playoff win, man. You know what I'm saying? So pump the brakes. Like whatever's going to happen, we're not in control of. I'm just giving you the news. And based on the news and based on what Telesco is saying and based on what AP is saying, doesn't look like we're trading up. Certainly does not look like we're giving up no farm to go get Jayden Daniels. Now, if Jayden Daniels happens to fall because he chose not to go to the combine, because he said he's just going to do a pro day, because maybe that gambling thing that happened to Kayshon Boutte of the Patriots somehow bleeds on to Jayden Daniels and Jayden Daniels starts to fall, okay, then we're talking a different story. But trading up to number 1 to Chicago, that ain't happening, man. You guys are living, you're smoking something really nice that you got in somewhere here in Vegas, probably, but there's no way we're trading up, Bishop. So, you know, and then when you're talking about all of them other tier quarterbacks like Bo Nix and Michael Penix and all these other guys, a lot of people are saying, depending on how the draft falls, those guys might fall to the second round. So that's why I've been saying on some shows, if we don't get our guy at 13, which would be, for me, our guy is Talisi Fuaga, right tackle, right guard out of Oregon State. That guy for the next 10 to 15 years will be we'll finally have somebody that can hold the right side with Colton Miller, and then we'll be fine, right? But we might not get him because a lot of the projections is that he's going to go to the Jets at 10, right? So if we don't get a guy like that, and then we don't go get someone like Byron Murphy, or we think we can maybe get Byron Murphy, but later, then we go trade to someone who's desperate for a quarterback, somebody who wants to go get a Bo Nix. Because I'm telling you, man, Bo Nix versus Aiden O'Connell, I know a lot of you guys are excited over Bo Nix, and he did look pretty good in college, and he did look good against Michael Penix in Washington and all of that stuff. He also looked terrible in Auburn. And Aiden O'Connell never looked that bad. So I'm like this with Aiden O'Connell versus Bo Nix. And if somebody wants Bo Nix so bad that they're willing to give us a bunch of picks for him, I'd trade it. I'd be like, great. Because then we can go get Jackson Powers Johnson and Byron Murphy and Tavondre Sweat and Tyler Guyton. There's so many things we can get, Bishop. This is why paying attention to the actual thing that's happening and watching the combine is an important part of all of this.
No. Watching the combine is great, but you and I aren't picking as Tom Telesco is, and I just have a sneaky suspicion that he's not sold that Aiden O'Connell is the ultimate answer for us to win it all next year.
He's quoted. He's quoted as saying that. He's quoted though. Telesco is quoted.
Wait a minute.
He said he's good.
As what?
No, Telesco is quoted. Bishop.
He can't say they're all this that yet until the draft. If we don't trade something before the draft, I'm not buying nothing they're saying. To me, that's all smoke and mirrors for everybody else and the 31 other teams to get on board and not whatever. It's just fans that want to trade up the farm just like losing. Now, wait. See, hold on. I'll let you talk here. Let me go. I don't believe, and I'm not totally sold on Aiden O'Connell leading the team to win with 2 minutes left, because that's where you judge a quarterback. Can he close? And I haven't seen him do that. Okay. I've not seen him get to a point where, as the rookie, that's the only pass I'm going to give him is last year. Now he's had a year under his belt, so to speak. He's had another training camp with this coach, who's not brand new, but come on, he should be able to get something done. But who in the hell is going to be number 2 and number 3? It ain't Garoppolo. It ain't the other dude either. And they saving cap space by letting Garoppolo with his dumb self go, that dumb thing he did. But my whole thing is this: if we stand pat at 13 and go for the best available, it has to be a home run. Now, Wilson ain't showed us nothing, and he was a top 10 pick last year. I'm sorry. The same question comes up for anybody that we wait for at 13. Are they really going to pan out? Are they really going to do it? I don't know. You don't know. None of us know. I know one thing. I'm tired of not having the guy at quarterback. I'm tired of this rotating carousel that's gone on for some 20-some years. It is ridiculous. Ever since Rich Gannon had left the helm, nobody has gotten us there. Okay? It's time. We need it. The Raider Nation needs a shot in the arm. I want to feel validated for being a fan. I'm 50. I've been around for a long time. Captain wants to see a damn Super Bowl. I don't want to see number 4. I don't want to have more than Kansas City. I don't want to whip. No matter what city the Chargers are playing in, I don't care. They're not going to beat us, and Broncos can kiss it goodbye. You ain't beating us. But Kansas City, they the juggernaut? Are you freaking serious? They're very beatable. They're not who they really are. That's why they bring in the girl to be some whatever. Let's pan to the side because we don't want to see them throwing their helmets down on the floor. They're a bunch of babies. And the coach, Andy Reid, is only going to go one more year, and that's it. Old man time is on his clock. I don't care. And I'm going to tell you something. The Raider Nation that I know and love, we sick of losing. Okay? With the roster we got, we deserve to win a Super Bowl. You got Super Bowl experience in the coach. You got it in the wide receiver, Devontae Adams. You got players on that team who have been to the playoffs. You got guys who know how, and coaches who are assistant coaches to get these guys ready. I'm looking at Marvin Lewis up in the seats, man, at the combine. There's other coaches, but they looking at him. Okay? I know I'm waiting to see. I can't wait for the draft. When is the draft here, Angelo?
The draft's coming up in April. So that won't be for a while. But let me say this, because I want to respond with what Charles is saying. Bishop, your boys made a lot of sense. Thanks, Charles. And I got to tell you, it's not that I don't disagree with all the sentiments of us wanting to win, but like here, you made a statement. You said with the roster that we have, we're ready to roll. I'm telling you the roster that we have. That's why for you guys who want to rewatch the show, go ahead. The current roster that we have, we don't got no linemen. It's Colton Miller. That's it. We got Colton Miller, Thayer Mumford, and Dylan Parham. Those are the only ones signed. I went over it, actually. I can give you the whole list, but I'm going to cover it on Sunday. That's why I'm saying we don't. Right now, our roster is
Captain Jackson.
Bishop, you got to let me talk. You got to let me talk.
A 12-7. There's somebody else there.
Bishop, you got to let me talk for a second. So on Sunday, I will cover what it is. But when you say things like our roster's ready to go, our roster is an empty canvas right now. That's why we get to see what they're about to do. Do we have captain pieces? We have Max Crosby as our defensive captain. We have Colton Miller as our offensive line captain. We have Devontae Adams as our offensive side captain. And whoever the quarterback ends up being will end up being our captain for the whole thing, which is why it's a wait and see right now. Until it happens, until Aiden O'Connell loses the job, Aiden O'Connell is the job. Until he loses, even if we bring in a free agent, even if Kirk Cousins comes in, even if whoever comes in, they got to go beat out Aiden O'Connell. And that's not an opinion that Angelo's given. That's a fact that AP and Telesco have both already publicly said to the press. So you can get mad at them. You don't get mad at me. They're the ones saying that it's his job to lose. All right. Now, when it comes to the actual roster, that's why I do the shows that I'm doing, so that I can cover with the entire Raider Nation what the actual roster is. And currently, right now, on our roster, we don't have a center signed. We don't have one center signed. We don't have a right guard unless you want to go ahead and make Thayer Mumford the right guard, but then you got no right tackle because they're not signed. Illuminor's not signed. Brandon Parker's not signed. Ronas Grossu's not signed. There's a lot of people that aren't signed. So it's an empty canvas time, guys. Okay, so stay with me. Since it's an empty canvas in the draft right now, 10 of the best offensive tackle or offensive guards that you will ever see is coming out. This is like the best ever guard, tackle, center draft in the history of the draft. That's what they're all saying. I'm just giving you one name. Right? Mm-hmm. Jackson Powers Johnson from Oregon. Right now, 330 pounds. He plays center, people. A center. That's so big that he can handle someone like Chris Jones. But he can be a day one guard, too. So imagine getting him and then getting Dylan Parham to go play center or vice versa, right? Well, guess what? The draft is so good that they're saying that someone like Jackson Powers Johnson, who deserves to be picked somewhere in the top 15, probably won't get picked until the later, after the 20th pick. So that's what I'm saying is, we go trading up. If we go trade up too many of our stuff, we're going to lose out on all of these great talents like Peyton Wilson or Latte Latu or Byron Murphy or Devondre Sweat. So again, the draft's going to be fun. Not getting a chance to pick is going to suck. And the only way for us to remedy that would be free agency, which a lot of the people here on the show has already said, yeah, we're like 10th or something right now. Or we have the 10th spot to be able to get a bunch of free agents. So I want to see, how much it's going to cost to get Chris Jones? It's probably going to be guaranteed money, 3 years at $90 million. That will make him come to the Raiders. I don't know if we would be willing to give him 3 years at $90 million, but that's about to go in place. And for people who think I'm nuts, the guy that's right now setting that market is Aaron Donald. He gets paid $32 million this year. That's the market, So, but go ahead, Bishop.
But see, I'm a visionary, so I'm just gonna go with this sentiment real quick. If I'm doing this and thinking about where we're going as a franchise, I'm still going to ask the same question I keep asking, because Aiden O'Connell, yes, defense have won our championships, but Kenny Stabler and Jim Plunkett put points on the board. Okay, Aiden O'Connell don't seem like the guy to light it up. He got an arm on him, but in crunch situations, he throws the pick. And it pisses me off because at the end of the day, it just doesn't make sense. You know.
Well, it'll make sense when if we go with AOC and he starts winning. Are you still going to? Does it make sense?
I'm not sold yet.
Of course not. Nobody's sold yet. Of course not. No, but are you honestly, seriously though, Bishop? Let's pretend Aiden O'Connell was not around. Let's just pretend he's not around.
I want to answer your question. Now here goes the kicker. Aiden O'Connell has not moved in the pocket well. He stand back there like a statue. But at Purdue, he's all over the place. He moves. Why is he not doing it with our system? Something's up.
Because he had a shitty coach.
If it doesn't,
go ahead.
And if we roll with O'Connell, who I happen to like, and he doesn't get us where we need to be, we're all going to be saying, we should have went for a quarterback. We should have traded up.
Yeah.
We should have made a move.
You're right.
And because we didn't make a move, guess what? The man said a minute ago, it's been 40 years. Enough is enough.
Right.
You know, I've been waiting. How many seasons we done seen? Oh, next year. Oh, next year. We're tired of saying that. I got family, my wife, my one of my sons, and my little one now. He's a Raider. He's always throwing up the X now because I raised him right. But I told him this is hard because he's only 3, like I was when I chose. And I gave this to him, and I said, you know, my wife said, oh, but you know, and I said, you know, yeah, but we ain't gonna sing that song right now. The truth is, right now, we don't have what other teams have. We don't have a true blue chip quarterback that Buffalo has, Baltimore has, Kansas City has, San Diego. I mean, the LA wannabe Chargers. I'm sick of it.
I know.
We're in bed with the Broncos right now. We really don't have an answer. And you want to bet AP and Tom Telesco and the coaches and Marvin Lewis and all them ain't looking at this?
That's what I'm telling you, though.
Same things we are.
I know.
Exactly. We might have to go get somebody. And homeboy in Minnesota, Cousins, is staying in Minnesota. He's not moving. There's no one coming here to save us.
I didn't want Cousins anyways.
Not even Fields. Right. But you hearing what I'm saying?
No, I mean, Bishop, you're saying the same thing.
We don't have the luxury to sit back here and say next year.
Right. The problem is, again, you're looking at it from,
with all these coaches. They want to win now.
Bishop, you're looking at it from the standpoint of
go ahead.
The front office hasn't screwed us this entire time. And I said this on yesterday's show. Max Crosby should have already won a ton of playoffs. But the front office, and when I say the front office, I mean John Gruden and Mike Mayock kind of screwed us when they were here. Because we should have been doing better, but we didn't. And then we ended up having Josh McDaniels and Ziegler, and then he screwed us up. Mm-hmm. So the frustration you feel, now hold on, the frustration you feel, you want to keep that. Keep the frustration. Keep the frustration. I'm with you on the frustration. But you can't take it out on the new kid. You can't take it out on Aiden O'Connell. You can't take it out on Antonio Pierce. You can't take it out on Telesco. This is a brand new team now. This is a brand new group. So we got to give them a chance. Now, if next year we suck, then you can be that mad because then they had a full year. But don't get mad at them. Like you're taking out all your anger. Hold on, Bishop. I
want to answer John Leon.
You talking about the Band-Aid?
John Leon said, AP said it to himself.
Yeah,
I want to say something to that. Many people.
All right. But then let me talk, Bishop.
Just go with it because I am who I am. Many people read the Bible and it says this and it says that. But what does AP mean when he's talking about that? He's talking about free agent quarterbacks coming to the Raiders and being here for a season or two. That's out. He wants his own guy now. And whether that's going to be O'Connell and he sees something in him that's going to, grab the reins and ride the pony out or the bull by the horns, that's great. But if he don't make it, we're back to what Carr did. And I hate that this guy's wearing number 4. Why don't he get another number? It's disgusting. Please choose some other number. There's plenty of them. But at the end of the day, okay, when Berenado Ball Bomber?
Berenado Ball Bomber.
Blue chip QB is needed. Thank you. Because I understand what you mean. And we just don't have it. We picked up O'Connell where we got him, but because he was available, we had to move to get that just because we had nobody else beyond Garoppolo who stunk up the joint.
Look,
we had no front office in Carr for years.
Okay. Hey, wait. I only got like 3 minutes to talk. So give me the 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. All right. Here's the thing. I'm going to respond to this one. Because I'm trying to explain it to you guys. And all of you guys who are doing all these comments, man, show up on Sunday. And then we can have a super discussion on all of the stuff that you're talking about. Because if you rewatch a lot of the shows that I've already been a part of, I'm saying all the same things. And a lot of people are hearing it too. So, but here's Charles saying, Charles Washington, thanks, man. Show up on Sunday at 6:00. Can't see AP throwing this opportunity in the trash after one season by giving up what we would have to give up for a player he coached in college. That's a common sentiment. You don't have to agree with it, but it is a common sentiment. And all I'm saying to everybody else because again, we got to close the show, who still, AOC this, AOC that. He's not our quarterback. Everybody thought that about Tom Brady too when they had Drew Bledsoe, and Tom Brady ended up being all right. I'm not saying Aiden O'Connell is the next Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. I'm saying we don't even know what we got. Mm-hmm. We don't know what we got, just like we didn't know how good Zamir White was until Zamir White played. And then you know what we found out? Zamir White's pretty good. Zamir White is so good, in fact, that we're willing to let another team go ahead and pay Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, who ran for almost 1,700 yards. But Zamir White did so good that we're willing to let him walk. And another team might actually pay him $14 million. A team like the Cowboys might actually do it. I'm just saying, we could see Josh Jacobs walk because we got to see what Zamir White looks like, right? So let's just go see what AOC looks like. And if he looks crappy in the rookie mini camps and he loses to whoever gets brought in, okay. But until we know, we don't know nothing. And right now, the truth is we got a lot of holes. We need defense. We need cornerbacks. We need offensive line. So on Sunday, guys, that's what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about the trenches. I'm going to be talking about the combine, defensive line, defensive tackles. I'm going to give you all the breakdowns on all of those. And then if you want to catch up on some of these things, go ahead and listen to AJ's show from last Thursday or listen to all my other shows. And then you guys will go ahead and get a chance to see it. But I know you got to close it out, AJ. So good discussion with you as always. And we will see. I want to win too, man. I don't want to spank the wrong kid. I feel like you're always spanking AOC, and it wasn't even his fault. He's not the one that broke the lamp. All right, Josh McDaniels broke the lamp.
He owns some of it because no matter what, at the end of the day, he's the quarterback and he chooses who he's going to throw to. And I hope we all hope that he makes the right decision at the end of the day. We all fans at the end of the day. Some of us played the sport, like myself, and some didn't. So I'm not going to, judge nobody because that's just not me. But at the end of the day, these guys who are getting paid millions, they got to do it better than what we've seen. And, enough is enough. The Raiders have not been showed the type of attention we're getting now in years. It was when John Gruden became the coach way back when for the Raiders, and Rich Gannon was the quarterback. Okay, we had Jerry Rice and Tim Brown to throw to. Not a bad combination to have at wide receiver. So at this day, when we're trying to get everything together, patience is the key. But I understand you. I really do. I feel your pain. I know what it feels like. But I'm not Joel Osteen, and I'm not going to give you that sugar cookie. I'm a diehard Raider since 1976. I love you all. I love you with the love of Christ. I love Captain Jack as well. And this is the Captain Jack Show, where you don't know about sports. You better ask Mama. Let me see here. Her. There we go. This is her. Did I hit the right one? I think I did.
You want me to do it, bitch? Man, you want me to do it?
I didn't get there, did I?
No, you did not.
No, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it.
You're running out of time, man. You want me to do it, Bishop?
See you guys. See you next Thursday. Go ahead.